Hey, welcome back to Your Celiac Bestie. It's episode 2. And I just got a package. I got the Rhode Peptide Lip Treatments that I was talking about last week. They're gluten-free, they're amazing, and I can't wait to try them. So I literally just got this package and then I set all this up so that I could film and then try them out with you guys, but I think we're gonna save that till the end. And I also have my Summer Fridays lip balms to compare them to because I feel like the shades are really similar. But yeah, we're gonna keep that till the end because we first have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna start with some like top of the show kind of announcements, but if y'all are just here to see my celiac diagnosis story, which is what the main topic of today's episode is, then I'll put like a timestamp, like go here. Okay. But I recommend watching the whole thing because I think I don't know, I think this podcast is pretty entertaining. You should try it out. So if y'all did watch last week, you might have remembered that I got a friend from my tech. What did I just say? A text from my friend. And she basically said that she would teach me how to cook. And I can't cook, so that's really important to me. One second, let me fix my mic volume. It's like weird. Okay, that's so much more normal. My mic volume was so high, I like couldn't hear anything. Okay. So yeah, my friend, she taught me how to cook and she helped me get over my fear of chicken. And let me give you guys a little bit of context. So I'm going to show y'all a TikTok that I posted a while ago. Let me pull it up. Oh, I'm not screen recording. I'm sorry, this is like, I just want to try my lip products and I'm just like quickly filming. Okay, here's the TikTok. Here, wait, let me connect to my AirPods. Is that I'm afraid of chicken, and I decided that I would overcome my fear today, and that was a dumb idea because I'm literally traumatized. This was last summer, so first like I researched recipes, and then I went to the grocery store, and I was planning on doing a Chinese type of chicken, you know, a good old Chinese. I chickened out from getting actual chicken from the grocery store, so I went to Target after dropping the stuff off at my apartment. This is the location of the first crime scene. There was chicken goo all over some of those chickens, and I accidentally dipped my hand in there, and that was so disgusting. I walked home with chicken goo on my hand, and never buy chicken from a Target again. After scrubbing my hands, though, I thought I'd go on and persevere. I did it. Now enjoy the show. Oh my god. This is embarrassing. I'm gonna like 2 times speed this. Oh my god, iPads don't let you 2 times speed. Okay, well, I guess we'll just watch. Anywhere I want, just not home. I'm trying to cut it, and like I swear, I literally did not leave it out for any time at all. Like I took it out of the packaging and I put it in the fridge, and like it's best. Oh my god, it smells so bad. And like I don't know what good chicken smells like and what bad chicken smells like. Now that I've gotten over my fear of chicken and had an experience with good chicken, like, that chicken was definitely bad. Yeah, that chicken was nasty. It was foul. Or if that chicken was actually bad, but I mean, I also literally didn't have a cutting board or a proper knife to cut it, so I don't know why I decided to take on this task. Don't really, but this is me sitting in shock from the trauma that just occurred. The score is now chicken 1, Zara 1, and I don't think chicken will ever beat me again because I know not to get chicken from a Target. I'm gonna Clorox wipe everything. Overall, I blame Target for this inconvenience because all their chicken at the store sucked. I might try this again by getting chicken at a different store, or I might just become a vegan. Who knows? I did not become a vegan. So a fun fact. Okay, that's enough of that. But yeah. So my friend came over and we went to a different grocery store this time, not the Target. And we bought chicken that didn't stink. And it was actually like, when chicken has not gone bad, it's actually not that bad. And I was able to, we like cut it up and I was totally fine. And then we made a stir fry kind of thing with it. But we did forget to season our chicken. We just threw it in there. But also the only seasoning I have is like salt and pepper and crushed red pepper for pizza, gluten-free pizza. But I have a picture of our meal. It's not a good picture, but you know. There it is. The chicken and like the vegetables kind of fell to the bottom and then you just see pasta at the top. But you can see on the sides, there is little pieces of chicken. And I cooked that. That was me. I got over my fear of chicken. So that's a big deal because when you have celiac disease, like you need to know how to cook because if you don't, you're screwed. And I don't know how to cook. So it's a good step to take. Let's just say that. And then another thing I want to say before we hop into my diagnosis story is that last week I was talking about how here, wait, I have a link. So let's just watch the clip. But basically, I was looking at articles and I just skipped over them because I didn't read them and I felt bad about it. So immediately after I filmed my episode last week, I looked at the articles. But yeah, here's like, for people who didn't watch last week, here's what I'm talking about.
Okay, what do they got? Testing kids with
Second. Celiac disease. Who, when, how? Yeah, that's probably important. I don't know. I should probably read these. For the next episode, I'll read them beforehand. I didn't read these. I'm just reading the titles. What's new in... So yeah, that's the context. I felt so bad, so I literally read it. And it was actually amazing. Basically, the article linked you to a podcast episode from this podcast called the Cribsiders Podcast, and they interviewed a pediatrician about celiac disease in children. And I thought it was really informative and I actually enjoyed listening to it. I think it was like an hour something long, but it didn't feel like that. And I definitely recommend y'all to listen to it, but I'm going to basically reference this podcast as I'm talking about my diagnosis story because I was diagnosed when I was around 13 years old. So a lot of the topics that were covered in the podcast are really relevant to my personal lived experiences, and I definitely gained a lot of insight into things that I didn't even know about from that episode. So yeah, with that, I think we should just get started with my celiac disease diagnosis story because I want to get to these. I want to get to this package. But we'll go over time for the package. I promise we'll get to it. But this is actually, I feel like my diagnosis story is pretty interesting, but I also feel like everybody's diagnosis story is really interesting because celiac disease is just an interesting disease, is it not? Okay, I'm 19 right now, so we're going back 6 years. No, I cannot do math. 12 plus 7 is 19. We're going back 7 years. I feel like I've had celiac disease forever, but like 7 years, that's literally nothing. That's crazy. So yeah, 7 years ago, well, no, actually I didn't get diagnosed 7 years ago, but 7 years ago is where the issues began, let's just say. Okay, we're going back 7 years. I'm 12 years old. I just started middle school, which already I feel like that's, like middle school I feel like is just such a weird time for kids. It's a big transition point where you're like becoming a teenager, you're growing up, you're not a little kid anymore. And then just adding more conflict to that, my body was like, yeah, let's make an already terrible time in your life even more terrible. And so yeah, I signed up for volleyball. And basically I started noticing that my hands were hurting a lot when I was doing volleyball, more than they normally do when you play volleyball. And so like basically when I would bend my wrists, they hurt, and like my fingers too, everything just hurt. And I'm a notorious quitter. I don't have much perseverance, I guess you could say. No, I have perseverance, but I just don't like doing things that I don't like, basically. So my parents thought that I was just making excuses and I just didn't feel like playing volleyball, but I didn't feel like admitting that. So I was just making up these excuses about my hands hurting. So they didn't really take it too seriously. Like, I think my mom was like, yeah, we'll make an appointment, but it just like, it wasn't a big priority or something anyone cared about, I guess you could say. And then I think finally my parents realized that no, she actually does have arthritis. Now, this is when I was 12 years old, so I don't remember all the details perfectly, but I'm not sure if this was before I went to my first doctor's appointment or after, but I remember at one point my arthritis in my hands was so bad that I remember I had a health project where I had to color something, and I was crying while coloring because my wrist literally couldn't do the movement where you color. And I don't know, that's just so sad. Like, that's so sad that 12-year-old me had to go through that. I feel so bad for her. But luckily I went to a doctor, and first, you go to the family doctor and they're like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her. Then I got sent to whatever doctor looks at your bones, I guess, and got x-rays done. And I was like, yeah, your bones are fine. And then I got sent to my rheumatologist. Well, not my current rheumatologist, but a rheumatologist. And she said, you have juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. I'm pretty sure that now that disease name has changed, but I'm not sure. I feel like it's changed to juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Let me double check that. Let me fact check that. Juvenile this is so, I've literally had this disease for like 8 years and I still don't know how to spell it. Rheumatoid arthritis, new name. Let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, it's now called juvenile idiopathic arthritis. So I'm not used to that. I don't like idiopathic. Like, what does that even mean? I like rheumatoid arthritis. That makes more sense to me. But so yeah, I got diagnosed with arthritis. My parents asked, what's the cause? She said, I don't know. I think most arthritis, you just don't know the cause. It's just like, yeah, you have it. That sucks. You just have to treat the arthritis, but you don't know what's causing it, which I feel like is a very frustrating thing to hear because you always want to know what's causing your issues, like your health issues. And that's just something that was clarity that we were not getting. But then I slowly started developing like other issues. I had a little bit of a thyroid problem. I'm not really sure what was going on there. Again, I was 12. I don't remember all the details. I was vitamin D deficient, but honestly, I feel like every like South Asian person is vitamin D deficient, but the celiac probably didn't help, And then the worst part was that I had very, 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 very elevated liver enzymes that showed up in my blood tests that I took. So basically, like, my liver wasn't working, I think. I'm honestly, to this day, I'm not exactly sure what that even means, like high liver enzymes. I just know it was bad. And my rheumatologist was like, yeah, you need to see a specialist about this. So I went to a hepatologist, I believe they're called. And now this story is actually so crazy. And I don't know, I find it hard to believe that this happened, but here, wait, I need to blow my nose 1 second. Sorry, I just literally left mid-story. Okay, so as I was saying, I had an appointment with my hepatologist, and this story is crazy, so buckle in. So my parents at this point, they were tired of the getting no answers, and they kind of decided to do their own research. And I don't remember if I helped out with that, but I think I did a little bit too. And we kind of found after a bit of Googling that celiac disease is something that could be causing all these issues that I was having. So when we met with the hepatologist for the first time, my parents brought it up. They were like, oh, we were doing some research and we think that celiac disease might be a potential cause of all these issues. And the doctor basically was like, yeah, I don't think so. And then she told my parents that, like, because I regularly had blood tests, being done all the time. So she was like, yeah, I'll just add it, but I don't think she has celiac disease. And then she said instead she should probably do, or not she, I should probably do a liver biopsy to figure out what's wrong with my liver. So far, everything's fine. Like, I don't mind that we brought up that I might have celiac disease and she, like, kind of turned it down. That part doesn't make me mad. Like, that's whatever. But what makes me mad is that after I had my liver biopsy done, she calls and she says, yeah, so everything in the liver biopsy turned out fine. Which, by the way, in a liver biopsy, I think they literally take out, like, a part of your liver. So, like, I feel like it's a fairly big procedure. It's not like surgery, but I remember I had to be there like all day, so it's time consuming at the very least. And so yeah, she called and she said, yeah, I didn't find anything. Everything seems fine with her liver. And then she basically said that she didn't need to see me anymore because everything was fine. But everything wasn't fine. That's what doesn't make sense, is that my liver enzyme levels were still super high. But the thing is, she went through a list of all the things that she thought it could be. And when she reached the end of that list, she was just like, yeah, you're fine, but I'm not fine. Like, that doesn't make sense. And again, I'm not mad about the fact that she didn't find out I had celiac disease and she gave up. I think that's fine. But if you're going to give up, at least recommend me to a different doctor. Don't say I'm fine when I'm literally not fine. And then we also later, my parents assumed that my celiac disease test had come back negative because no one mentioned anything about it. But we later find out from my rheumatologist that the doctor never even tested me for celiac disease when she said she would. So then my rheumatologist finally, after begging so many doctors to do the stupid test on me, that's so easy where you just take some blood and test it, which I'm always getting my blood test done anyway. My rheumatologist finally decided to order the test and it came back positive because I have celiac disease. Wow. But the hepatologist story is even crazier than that because that was the end of that story for when I was a kid. But recently I was looking into, research in the celiac disease community. And I found that there's a couple of colleges that are really big names when it comes to celiac disease research. And the hospital that I went to was one of them. So I was looking at their research, and then they had a little tab where they were click here to see our pediatric celiac specialists. And I was like, ooh, interesting. So I clicked it. And the first picture that came up was a picture of my hepatologist. It was a jump scare. I was traumatized. I was like, what is she doing here? She literally gaslit my family into thinking I don't have celiac disease. What is she doing on this page when she doesn't even... What? That made no sense. And I really, 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 really hope that she wasn't on that panel until after I got diagnosed with celiac disease. And she maybe that made her realize that she should look into celiac disease a little bit more. I really hope she wasn't on the panel before I got diagnosed with celiac disease, because if that were the case, I don't think she should be on that panel. I think that is so, I don't know. It just makes me mad because I feel like every person has encountered, a doctor that, they didn't do the best, but normally that's fine. But seeing that doctor that didn't want to diagnose me with celiac disease is the head person to go to for pediatric celiac disease. And this college that I'm talking about, it's a big college. I think by me saying it, it's not going to reveal who my doctor was, but it was University of Chicago, which is a big deal here in Illinois. Oh my god. No way. No way. Have I been talking for 20 minutes? That can't be the case. Oh my god. I hope nothing went wrong with my setup. Sorry, my computer sometimes turns off and I hate that. I don't know how to fix that, but I really hope I haven't been talking for 20 minutes because my goal is to do 30-minute podcast episodes, but I will do longer if I have to because this story is important. It's like my origin story. It's my superhero origin story. Yeah, I'm literally not even like halfway done with my story, so I really hope we haven't been filming for 20 minutes. Okay, so moving on. Yay, I'm finally diagnosed, but I never did an endoscopy, which at the time, like, it made sense because after I'd gone on immediately after my blood test came back positive for having celiac disease, I stopped eating gluten, and then a lot of my and I did actually recently get an endoscopy after like being gluten-free for many years, and that came negative for celiac disease, which is good because it means my like intestines have healed, which is always great. But in the podcast I was talking about in the beginning of the episode, the doctor on that podcast actually said that when his patients get diagnosed with celiac disease, he makes sure that the kids that could possibly have celiac disease are prioritized for endoscopies within 2 weeks so that they don't suffer at all from having to eat gluten. Because in order to do an endoscopy, you have to be eating gluten in order to get that diagnosis. So I thought that was really cool because I feel like getting doctor's appointments is so difficult. It's like, yeah, wait 6 months and you're on the wait list, and it's just so annoying. But yeah, also on the podcast, they mentioned joints a lot. And I didn't know that like joint inflammation or joint pain was so common with celiac disease, because whenever I tell my doctors about these issues that I have, they always act as if it's super weird. Like my rheumatologist, like I feel like she thought I was like her weird patient, the fact that I had celiac disease and didn't need to take medication to fix it. I could just be gluten-free. So yeah, I thought that was weird. I feel like doctors definitely need a little bit more education. Should probably listen to this podcast episode that I listened to. And then, so yeah, after my diagnosis, a lot of, obviously like the symptoms I talked about before, they got better, but a lot of symptoms got better that I didn't even know were symptoms that I had. Like I didn't even know they were issues that I had. For example, I kid you not, I got smarter because I remember growing up, I used to be a gifted kid, and then going into middle school, I didn't get into like their gifted program, at least for like reading. I've always been good at math. Even with the gluten messing up my mind, I can still do math. That's my forte. But when it came to like English and that kind of thing, which I've never been good at, but you know, I've always been good enough to be gifted. But yeah, so I wasn't in the gifted program. And then on top of that, I also wasn't getting, like, I wasn't failing my classes. Like I've always been a good student, but you know, I was getting A-, B+, a B. And ever since I got diagnosed with celiac disease, I took the test for the, like, oh my god, what is it called? The gifted kids thing in my middle school. And I got in easily. And then I've also, since the day I've been diagnosed, I have literally never not gotten an A. Which, like, I'm not trying to brag. Like, I'm just saying that my brain got smarter after I stopped eating gluten. And I think, I don't know, that really says a lot about just how much it impacts your body. And then another weird thing was that I remember in the beginning of middle school, I could not run to save my life. I would literally be out of breath. And I was not an overweight child. Like I was literally probably underweight. I literally felt like I was on like my 600-pound life. Like I could not run. And it was so weird. And I just thought like, oh, I guess I'm not that athletic, like naturally. But no, after I stopped eating gluten, I mean, I still can't run. I'm still not athletic. I hate running. But like I can do like a normal amount that is expected by a human being, you know? And then there's probably even more stuff that I just can't think of. I feel like it's just really something that impacts your whole body. And I think it's really serious, and it's something that people should take more seriously. And unfortunately, I feel like people don't. But also another thing on the podcast that I was watching was that they talked about kids' growth curves a lot and how that's a big indicator for celiac disease. They were like, oh, it's such a big and obvious indicator. But I've literally never in my life been told that until I watched that podcast. And I'm a short person. I'm 5'2". But honestly, most of my life I've been 5'1". I just became 5'2" in college, which is weird. But before middle school, I think I was also 5'1". Like before puberty. And after puberty, I was the same height. Which obviously, like, there's something going on there. And the thing that was going on, I'm pretty sure, is that I had celiac disease and I was not growing. And that's always been something that I knew in my head, but no doctor has ever told me, like, yeah, that's probably the reason you're short. Or no doctor ever looked at my growth chart and was like, yeah, it's kind of weird how your growth went, like, from this to this during the time you're supposed to be growing the most, which is, like, during puberty, right? But yeah, unfortunately, my diagnosis did not help me with the short issue. I am still short. But the thing is, a lot of issues still remain for me. My stomach is still terrible. I mean, there are so many issues with my stomach. I'm not going to get into it, you know, but it's not good. It's not a fun time. Let's just say that. And then another interesting thing. Now, I have autoimmune issues that are popping up recently. Kind of. If anyone has... Okay, so I religiously watch the H3 podcast, which if you haven't watched it, I'll like try my best to explain what I'm talking about. But basically, on the podcast host, Ethan, he has been kind of on a journey with his health also recently. And he had gone to a rheumatologist and gotten, you know, the regular blood tests done, the blood work, and his ANA came back positive. And around that time, I also went to my rheumatologist, as I normally do, got my regular blood test done, and my ANAs came back positive. Now, for Ethan, his were more correlated towards lupus, and mine are more correlated towards... This is the weirdest disease I have ever heard of. It's called CREST. Like the toothpaste, CREST. Each letter stands for something. I don't know. Here, let's Google it. By the way, I love how... I just... Do not look at how I spelled that. But I was going to say, I love how I'm literally oversharing every detail of my whole entire life. Of course, when I type CREST, the toothpaste is going to come up. I need to type disease. Yeah, here it is. It stands for something. Yeah, here's a diagram. Excuse my botching of these pronunciations. If you have CREST, I'm so sorry. Calcinosis, Raynaud's phenomenon, esophageal dysfunction, sclerodactyly, telangiectasias. Yeah. So here's the thing. My podcast host, Ethan, his rheumatologist was like, you probably don't have lupus because you don't have a lot of the symptoms that come along with lupus. But Ethan, he still kind of thinks like, oh, I might have lupus. And he always says, I'm in my lupus era. And I kind of feel the same exact way because my rheumatologist, she won't really give me a straight answer. She's like, yeah, you like kind of have it, but like you don't really have any symptoms yet, but we're going to like see the progression and see if you ever get symptoms. So I don't know if that means I have it or I don't have it. I don't really know what's going on. But I like to say that I'm in my Crest era because Ethan's in his lupus era and I'm in my Crest era. So I think that's fun. And also, he literally, I remember he was going through his blood test results and I pulled up my phone and I was going through my charts with him. I was like, oh my gosh, he got positive for this. I got positive for that also. Oh my gosh, twins. I don't know. That was an interesting side story, I guess. But oh, he also, by the way, got tested for celiac, and he doesn't have celiac, but his mom does have celiac. That's how you know I watched that podcast too much, that I know their whole entire health history. But you guys now know my whole entire health history, so that's fun. Another issue I came across was I once did randomly just drop a ton of weight for no reason. I still don't know why that happened. And then, but I did gain it back, so I think we're good. And then I also had, okay, this I don't think was actually my body attacking itself for once. For once, I think this was from an external thing. But I was allergic to the sun for about 2 years, a year or 2 years. And it just ended last summer, like a year ago, exactly. And I think this was caused by my arthritis medicine I was taking at the time. I think the medicine is the name methotrexate? Is that the one? Let me Google it. Methotrexate. Yeah, it says it's for arthritis. Treat cancer. What? Oh, it can also treat rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, don't have cancer. So yeah, I was taking methotrexate, and I think that's what caused my sun allergy, because once I stopped taking that, my sun allergy went away. But when I tell you that it was the worst years of my life, I've never been more sad, ever. Having a sun allergy is 10 times worse than having celiac disease. So if you have a sun allergy, I literally, like, I will cry for you, because I wanted to cry for myself so many times, because I would go out into the sun. And when I came back inside, my body would be covered in the most painful hives ever. And I wouldn't be able to do anything for the rest of the day. I'd just be laying in my bed, like itching my body and putting on, oh my God, what is that cream? The cortisone cream. Oh, I do not miss that time. That was, my sun allergy era was terrible. I prefer my Crest era. I like my Crest era better. Ooh, one symptom that I do have for Crest though is that my esophagus is like, something's wrong with it. I don't know, because I remember when I got my, oh my gosh, what is it called? My endoscopy done. She was like, your esophagus looks a little swelled or something. And I think I have like issues with swallowing stuff, and I think that's a symptom of Crest. I also have cold hands, but that might kind of be a symptom too. But yeah, I go to college in Illinois, and I remember my second choice college was in Miami, Florida, not Ohio. And one of the reasons I didn't go was because I was allergic to the sun, and I was like, I cannot live in Miami being allergic to the sun. And now I'm stuck in Illinois where there is no sun. And I hate that, but it's fine. And then another interesting thing in the podcast was that the doctor said that one thing he makes sure to do is say cross-contact instead of cross-contamination, because the word contamination can cause like anxiety for kids. It sounds kind of scary. And he said how you like have to be careful around children and make sure that you're not like having them develop anxiety. And I honestly, like, I love my parents, but I definitely think it would have been helpful if they heard that advice, because I mean, like, they were constantly stressed, and that made me stressed. I was always stressed about them being stressed. And I remember, this is kind of a messed up story. You know, I'll tell it. I mean, I remember I once got fed a chicken nugget that was just like a regular chicken nugget, not a gluten-free chicken nugget. And it was at my uncle's house. And my parents were, oh my God. What happened? Hello? Oh, my audio just went really weird for a second. I think we're good. Okay. So, as I was saying, my parents got super stressed out, as they do, understandable, because, it's like a whole process when I eat gluten. I get inflammation in my joints, and then it's like, how do we get rid of this inflammation? And it's not a fun time. So I get it. But my aunt, she's a doctor, but she's like, I don't know what type of doctor she is, but something about like infection, like an infectious disease type of doctor, which infections and celiac disease, there's no overlap. Like, she knows nothing about celiac disease. And she gave the idea that I should throw up my food because I had just eaten it. And she was teaching me in their bathroom how to throw up my food, and I couldn't do it. And it was super traumatizing. But like, I don't blame anyone. It was just, I think like I do agree, you have to be careful around children. Like, now I'm at an age where I'm fully developed. Like, I can, I don't know. I mean, I still get stressed, but I think you don't ever want a kid to be stressed. I think that's my point I'm trying to make. Adults being stressed, whatever. Like, you had a childhood, you're good. But yeah, that's like the gist of my diagnosis story. There's probably some elements that I'm missing, but y'all will figure that out about me as this podcast continues. Overall, I think it's a very confusing story because there's just so many elements to it. And I feel like besides my parents, no one in my life really knows exactly what's going on, because I'll just be like, randomly like, yeah, I'm allergic to the sun, or I'll be like, yeah, I think I have a disease called Crest, and I think all my friends are just confused. So I will definitely reference them to this video. I think every single person who has random diseases should low-key do this type of video where they just explain it all, so then they never have to do it again. It's like, if someone's like, oh, what exactly is wrong with you, just reference them to the video. I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. According to my laptop, we've been filming it for 38 minutes, which, that's a long time, but there's little sirens going on outside. Looks like a fire truck, and then we got an ambulance after it. I should not be wasting my time doing this. What am I saying? Let's unbox. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Okay, currently on my lips, I am wearing the Summer Fridays Pink Sugar. A good thing I had this tissue that I blew my nose in, because I can use it to like wipe. Nothing came off. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited. This is all I've been thinking about the whole week. Every single day I would go to my phone and I would check the shipment status for this package, because that's all I could think about, and it was my only source of entertainment and joy for a whole entire week. Why can I not open this box? It's like glued. There's glue in here. That's so weird. I've never experienced that before with a package box. Normally there's just tape. Okay, I cut the glue. Oh, I see what's going on here. She has a little fancy way she wants this box to be opened. Oh wait, I'm gonna open it the way that it'll look pretty. Okay, ready for the grand reveal? I mean, Hailey Bieber, she's fine, but we don't need to see her there. Look at that. I love that she uses like this kind of packaging. I think that's very environmental friendly, which we love because the earth is dying. Yeah, this packaging is super cool. She's got some like Rhode tissue paper. All right, let me throw this back. I got him. I'm so excited. Okay, so the shade Ribbon, this is the one that I think is similar to like this product. Except the thing is, I feel like these aren't that moisturizing, and I have a like unpigmented Rhode lip balm. This is the salted caramel scent, and this I feel like really hydrates my lips. So the only reason I would use these is because they're pigmented, but now that they have these, I feel like these are gonna retire these. And then also this shade Toast, which the fact that it's called Toast is so triggering because it's like gluten-free, but then it says toast. So I'm like, I don't like that. But let's just call it gluten-free toast. We're going to call this shade gluten-free toast. This one is supposed to be similar to this one, I think. Can you see this? Oh my god. Okay. What should we do first? Let's do these two, because I don't have anything comparable to these two. I want to do this like really dark one because I've always wanted like a chocolate brown lip thing. I was thinking about getting like the Glossier Swiss Miss thing, but I never got that. Also, I think all of these are unscented, which normally in products I like that, but with lip products I feel like I prefer it to be a little bit scented because I feel like that's fun. This is the packaging. This is what it looks like. Should I do the beauty in? Oh my god. I'm not the best person to model these because I literally oh, why does my mic keep on? Oh, I think my earbuds sometimes unplug. That's why my mic is doing weird things. Okay. So yeah, I have really tiny lips, so I feel like I'm not the best person to do this, but let's see. I saw in some people's like videos that the lip balm would come out clear. So I want to first make sure that like color is coming out of it. Oh wait. It came out clear. Okay, we need to like mix this, I think. Mixity-dixity. I feel like that is gonna have to like knock this product down a point because I don't know, like I don't think lip products should be separating, in my opinion. But it's fine. We'll just mix it up. Okay, let's see if that helped. It's still clear. Oh my god, I'm so mad right now. Now I want to smell. Yeah, they're unscented. Okay. Wait, I got like a score of... Okay. We're good now. I just have like a pile of lip product on my arm, but we got pigment. Okay. Mirror is coming in. When I apply lip products, I look really weird, so just don't look at me. Close your eyes. Okay. This is like one coat on. Should I get closer? So yeah, with one coat on, it's very subtle, the color. And I feel like that's one of the things I saw with the promotion of the product was that it's buildable. So I want to see if I can make it like super dark now. But I feel like for every day, this is how I would do it. But let's try to go super dark. Let's see how dark we can get this. I feel like in order for it to look like really dark, you need like a lip liner or something. Okay, this is 2 layers. I feel like that's pretty dark. I don't think I would go any darker than this. Honestly, this isn't bad for like an everyday also. Like I feel like this looks fine without any makeup. I'm kind of into it. And yeah, they're super hydrating. Okay, next shade. They're sweet. The taste is sweet. It's like the color that's coming out. Let me just do a little one of these. Okay. Next, I want to try this. This is a shade. Oh, did I say what the other shade was? The other shade was Espresso. And this is Raspberry Jelly. Both of those are gluten-free foods, so we approve. Okay, let's put it on. Oh, this one did not come out clear. I don't know if you can see that, but the color immediately came out of this one. So that's a pro. This one definitely has like, oh my god, you can immediately see that. That has so much pigment. I'm sorry, I'm literally blocking y'all with my mirror. But I kind of want it that way because I feel like I look so stupid when I put on lip products. This is one thin layer. I feel like I like it. It's like a pop of color that I feel like I need in my life. I'm so, because I normally don't wear makeup, but I like wearing like a little tint on my lips. I feel like that always really makes you look a little more put together. But yeah, I like this one. I actually didn't think I would like this one because it was kind of like, it looks purpley and I feel like that's an old person color, but I'm into it. I like it. Okay, for the next two, for Ribbon and Toast. So the way she advertised it were like these two are like your going out night colors and then these are like your daytime colors. But honestly, I'll use them all as daytime colors. Like, why should I only save them for going out? Oh, that looks so stupid. I just saw myself in my viewfinder. Okay. I want to do this. This is the one I'm most excited about, Ribbon, because I don't really have a lot of like pinky things. Because even though I own the Summer Fridays lip balm, I think they're literally lying to you. Like, yes, there's a tiny bit of pink in it, but it's clear. It's clear lip balm. So I'm hoping this one packs a little bit more color than the Summer Fridays. Like, I don't expect it to be a lipstick, obviously, but... Okay, we immediately have pigment. Oh. We immediately have pigment coming out of that one, which is a good sign. I'm gonna block myself with the mirror again. Oh, yeah, this definitely has pigment. This is like a cute pinky. I have tissue paper crusties on my lips from trying to wipe off the product, but that's not the product. If you see a little bit of crusties, that's not the road's fault. That's this poor paper towel's fault. But yeah, this is the pink one. Like, it is very subtle, but it definitely is pink. unlike this one. Look at the Summer Fridays one. I literally get so mad. Like when you like that. Here, let me swatch that. Do you see that? I don't even know. It's like very barely pink. But the smell of these ones are good. All right, let me put the Rhode one next to it. This is, the bottom one is Rhode, the top one is Summer Fridays. Like, yeah, you can obviously see that, right? The pigment change. But this one is more pigmented, the Rhode. Okay, I'm gonna do this so I don't get the crusties from the tissue. Now the tissue crusties are on my hand. Ah! You know what? We're just gonna leave the pink one on because it's like as if that was my natural lip color. Okay, toast. Gluten-free toast. Yay. Now this, the equivalent shade of this in the Summer Fridays, I use this all the time. This is like my holy grail, so let's see if this one also has good pigment. Oh, there's pigment coming out, not like the espresso. The espresso one was so disappointing. This one definitely is a similar shade to the Summer Fridays. I literally love this shade. This is my favorite shade. I colored a little bit outside the lines, but this is my favorite shade. I love this one. I'm obsessed. This is a Summer Fridays one in comparison. I'll do like a swatch on my hand again. Let me move my mirror. Okay, we're gonna do Summer Fridays on top. I feel like the Summer Fridays one might actually be a little bit more pigmented than the Rhode one. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. Let's see. By the way, the Summer Fridays one, if like you're watching this video and you're like, those Rhode ones look like this, like they suck, and the Summer Friday ones actually look pretty cool. The Summer Friday ones are also gluten-free, so knock yourselves out. Yeah, these are literally the same thing. You cannot tell me that is not the same thing. That is literally this. Another issue I have is that I'm uncoordinated, if you couldn't tell, but that's not a diagnosed thing. That's just a personal thing. But yeah, those, like, they're a little different. Like, this one is a little bit more like pinky, and this one's a little bit more brown. But they're the same thing. For me, I feel like the biggest difference is that I feel like Rhode is just better. Like, a lip treatment wise, it's better if you're ignoring the shades. But I actually love all of these, and I think I'll wear all of these, and I am very happy with my purchase. Oh my god, we're almost at an hour. No, what happened to doing 30-minute podcasts? I had a whole other thing I wanted to talk about. But I think we're going to save it for next week. Or we'll just never talk about it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. That's all for today. If you guys kind of relate to my celiac disease diagnosis story, or if you have your own story you want to share, feel free to talk about it in the comments. I love hearing about this kind of stuff. And yeah,